Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. We are continuing from ayat number 92 of Surah Nisa. Never, अब आयत पे सुने आप और सब अपने जहन में बिठा लें. Never should a believer kill a believer. Never should a believer kill a believer. But if it so happens by mistake, compensation is due. If one so kills a believer, it is ordained that he should free a believing slave and pay compensation to the deceased's family, unless they remit it freely. If the deceased belonged to a people at war with you, and he was a believer, the freeing of a believing slave is enough. If he belonged to a people with whom you have a treaty of mutual alliance, compensation should be paid to his family, and a believing slave be freed for those who find this beyond their means. Is prescribed a fast, and for those who find this beyond their means, मतलब गुलाम को आज़ाद करना, is prescribed to fast for 2 months, running by way of repentance to Allah, for Allah has all knowledge and all wisdom. If a man kills a believer intentionally, his recompense is hell, to abide therein forever, and the wrath and the curse of Allah are upon him, and a dreadful chastisement is prepared for him. लेकिन ये आयत है, अगर इंटेंशनली आप किसी को किल कर रहे हैं तो वार्निंग दी हुई है, कितनी सख्त वार्निंग है. और हमारे मुल्क में अभी क्या हो रहा है, बहाना मिल रहा है, बहाने से पॉलिटिकल विक्टिमाइजेशन भी हो रही है, स्ट्रीट क्राइम भी हो रही है, रिलीजियस विक्टिमाइजेशन हो रही है. हम एक दूसरे को बस मारने में लगे हुए हैं, ना देखते हुए कि इसका अंजाम क्या है अल्लाह ताला की नज़र में. O you who believe, when you go abroad, in the case of Allah, investigate carefully and say not to anyone who offers you salutation, you are none of a believer, coveting the perishable goods of this life. With Allah are profits and spoils abundant. Even thus were you yourselves before, till Allah conferred on you His favors. Therefore, carefully investigate, for Allah is well aware of all that you do. Not equal are those believers who sit at home and receive no hurt, and those who strive in the cause of Allah with their goods and their persons. Allah has granted a higher grade to those who strive with their goods and persons than those who sit at home. Unto all in faith has Allah announced good, but those who strive has He distinguished above those who sit at home by a special reward. अब देखें तो वो लोग घर बैठ के अल्लाह अल्लाह कर रहे हैं, कुछ लोग स्ट्राइव कर रहे हैं, तो अल्लाह ताला जो लोग उनकी रास्ते में स्ट्राइव कर रहे हैं माल से और जानों से, वो ज़्यादा हायर रैंक रखते हैं अल्लाह ताला की नज़र में. लेकिन कम से कम घर में तो याद रखने वाले उनका लोअर रैंक है, हम तो किसी रैंक में भी शामिल नहीं है. Ranks specially bestowed by Him, and forgiveness is mercy, for Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. When angels take the soul of those who die in sin against their souls, they say, in what plight were you? They reply, weak and oppressed were we in the earth. They say, angels say, was not the earth of Allah spacious enough for you to move yourselves away from evil? Such men will find their adobe in hell and an evil refuge. गुनाहगार जो लोग हैं उनको जो फरिश्ते लेने आएंगे तो बोलेंगे भाई हम तो बड़े ऑप्रेस थे दुनिया में. फरिश्ते कहेंगे कि भाई कि अल्लाह ताला की ज़मीन बड़ी नहीं थी कि तुम आसानी से रह लो, आज़ादी से रह लो, और इन लोगों को बहुत बुरा अंजाम होगा. एक्सेप्ट दोज हु आर रियली, अब यहाँ पे भी अल्लाह ताला ने एक रहमत की एक ना एक्सेप्शन डाल दी है. एक्सेप्ट दोज हु आर रियली वीक एंड ऑप्रेस्ड, men, women and children, who have no means in their power nor a guidepost to direct their way. बस देखिए अल्लाह ताला की रहमत है, इसमें भी एक्सेप्शन है. For these there is hope that Allah will forgive, for Allah does not bolt out sins and forgive, for Allah does bolt out sins and forgive again and again. He who forsakes his home in the cause of Allah finds in the earth many a refuge, wide and spacious. Should he die as a refugee from home, for Allah and His Messenger, his reward becomes due, and sure with Allah, and Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. जो लोग अपने घर छोड़ के अल्लाह ताला की राह में निकलते हैं, अल्लाह ताला उनके लिए ज़मीन बहुत ना खुली कर देता है, बड़ी कर देता है. और अगर आप ये पूछें उन लोगों से जो अल्लाह की राह में निकले हुए हैं, वो इस बात को कंफर्म करेंगे. When you travel through the earth, there is no blame on you if you shorten your prayers, for fear the unbelievers may attack you, for the unbelievers unto you open enemies. When you, O Messenger, are with them and stand to lead them in prayer, let one party of them stand up prayer with you, taking their arms with them. When you finish their prostrations, let them take their positions in the rear, and let the other party come up which has not yet prayed, and let them pray with you, taking all precautions and bearing arms. The unbelievers wish, if you were negligent of your arms and your baggage, to assault you in a single rush. But there is no blame on you if you put away your arms because of the inconvenience of rain or because you are ill. But take every precaution for yourselves, for the unbelievers Allah has prepared a humiliating punishment. इस आयत में अल्लाह ताला ड्यूरिंग टाइम ऑफ वॉर जो है ना, अल्लाह के नबी कैसे नमाज पढ़ाएं, सब कैसे इंक्लूड करें, उसके बारे में गाइडेंस दे रहे हैं. When you pass congregational prayers, celebrate Allah's praise standing, sitting down, or lying down, or on your sides. Lying down, sitting down, or lying down on your sides. But when you are free from danger, set up regular prayers, for such prayers are enjoined on believers at stated times. And slacken not in following up the enemy if you are suffering hardships. They are suffering similar hardships, but you have hope from Allah, while they have none, and Allah is full of knowledge and wisdom. जो असल होप है वो है ही वो लोग, उन लोगों के लिए जो अल्लाह ताला की राह में लड़ रहे हैं. जो आपकी अपोजिंग पार्टी पे है, जो अल्लाह ताला के खिलाफ है, उनके लिए तो कोई होप ही नहीं है. We have sent down you the book in truth, that you might judge between men as guided by Allah. So be not used as an advocate by those who betray their trust. But seek the forgiveness of Allah, for Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. Content not on behalf of such as betray their own souls, for Allah loves not for Allah loves not one given to perfidy and crime. They may hide their crimes from men, but they cannot hide them from Allah while He is with them when they plot by night. In other words, that He cannot approve in words when they plot by night, in words that He cannot approve, and Allah does compass around all that they do. इस आयत का स्टार्टिंग पार्ट है वो मैं दोबारा रिपीट करूंगा ताकि हम सब लोग अपने जहन में बिठा लें. They may hide their crimes from men, but they cannot hide them from Allah. हमारे यहाँ केसेस होते हैं, हम झूले एविडेंसेस ले आते हैं, झूठे विटनेसेस ले आते हैं. हम इंसानों से तो झूठ बोल सकते हैं, अल्लाह ताला से नहीं बोल सकते. These are the sort of men on whose behalf you make content in this world, but who will contend with Allah on their behalf on the day of judgment, or who will carry their affairs through. यहाँ पे तो हो सकता है भाई उन लोगों के कुछ लोग साथ ले लें, लेकिन अल्लाह ताला के खिलाफ कौन खड़ा होगा आखिरत के दिन. If any does evil or wrongs his own soul, but afterwards seeks Allah's forgiveness, he will find Allah oft forgiving, most merciful. And if anyone earns sin, he earns it against his own soul, for Allah is full of knowledge and wisdom. But if anyone earns a fault or a sin and throws it on to one that is innocent, he carries on himself both a falsehood of flagrant sin. भाई एक गुनाह किया और दूसरे पे डाल दिया जो कि इनोसेंट है. He carries on himself a falsehood and a flagrant sin. एक झूठ और एक बहुत बड़ा गुनाह. और आजकल तो ये बहुत आम हो गया है, इल्जाम लगा देना दूसरों पे. But for the grace of Allah to you and His mercy, a party of them would certainly have plotted to lead you astray. But in fact, they will only lead their own souls astray. And to you they can do no harm in the least, for Allah has sent down to you the book and the wisdom, and taught you what you knew not before, and great is the grace of Allah unto you. देखिए कोई हमें कितना भी बहकाने की कोशिश कर ले, अगर अल्लाह ताला की जो रेवलेशन है हम उसको फॉलो करते रहें तो हम कभी भी नहीं बहकेंगे. In most of their secret talks there is no good, but if one exhorts to a deed of charity or justice or conciliation between men, secrecy is permissible. To him who does this, seeking the good pleasure of Allah, we shall soon give a reward of the highest value. If anyone contends with the messenger, even after guidance has been plainly conveyed to him, and follows a path other than that becoming to men of faith. We shall leave him in the path he has chosen and land him in hell with an evil refuge. बात हो रही है भाई अल्लाह और उसके नबी का जो पाथ है उसको फॉलो करो, अगर उसको फॉलो नहीं कर रहे तो बस फिर हेल है तुम्हारा घराना. Allah forgives not the sin of joining other gods with him, but he forgives whom he pleases other sins than this. One who joins other gods with Allah has strayed far far away from the right. वो ये पीछे जो बात हुई है कि शिर्क माफ नहीं है, उसके अलावा अल्लाह जिसको चाहे माफ कर सकता है. The pagans leaving him call but upon female duties. They call but upon Satan, the persistent rebel. अब जिन लोगों ने अदर डीटीज बनाई हुई है, मुशरिकीन मक्का में फीमेल डीटीज थी, वो असल में शैतान को पुकार रहे हैं. Allah did curse him, but he said, I will take of your servants a portion marked off. अब ये शैतान कह रहा है, I will mislead them and I will create in them false desires. I will order them to slit the ears of cattle and to deface the fair nature created by Allah. Whoever forsaking Allah takes Satan for a friend has for a surety suffered a loss that is manifest. Satan makes them promises and creates in them false desires, but Satan promises are nothing but deception. शैतान आपसे झूठे वादे करेगा और आप में झूठी डिजायर्स बनाएगा, बट याद रखें कि शैतान के जो वादे हैं सिर्फ डिसेप्शन है, झूठे हैं. यहाँ तक हमने आयत नंबर 120 कवर कर लिए सूरह निसा की. अब हम आयत नंबर 121 से कंटिन्यू करेंगे नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. थैंक यू.